Hi, I'm Robin Leong, and you're listening to Do Not Click.
Check, check, 1, 2. You're listening to.
You're listening to Don't Click.
This is actually not the first time I'm in Claymore Connect, and this is not the first time I did a podcast in Claymore Connect. And
Really?
funny enough, the last guest that I had, which I did it here, was in a car park. We did it in her car, but she was a amateur boxer. Yeah, so funny enough, the connection, martial artist seems to gravitate towards Claymore Connect. Yeah. But it's nice to be in your studio.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing me to the Chi Life.
Chi Life Studio.
Chi Life Studio. How do you come up with the name, the Chi Life?
No, it's Chi Life Studio. Well, Chi Life Studio was my brainchild about 17 years ago. Actually, it was meant to be a place where children could learn Kung Fu, martial arts. And it just started from a family that was actually a big fan of a TV show that I was doing at the time, The Challenge, which was on Channel 8.
Yeah, I love that show.
Oh, thank you.
Wong Lilin was on it.
Yes. It was a Japanese family that was a big fan of the show. And they had approached me and asked me if I could teach their son some Kung Fu. So that's kind of how it started. And it just snowballed from there. The name came about very interestingly. Actually, my first choice was Zen Life. When I tried to register, it actually was taken.
Oh, okay.
So Chi Life was very appropriate because, using your Chi. And my Kung Fu Kids program began right after that. So Chi Life Studio is kind of like the umbrella. And then we have Kung Fu Kids. We have Line Pilates. I've done numerous other kinds of programs in the studio. It was basically started to help kids learn about martial arts in a comfortable atmosphere with less kids around.
That's your demographic of your company, focusing on
Mainly for kids. It was mainly for kids because I was aware of in community centers, there's 30, 40, 50 students. And I'm a big believer in personal attention, especially learning something like martial arts. And, one trainer or master cannot properly train 30 or 40 students in an hour. The students are kind of getting cheated. So that's how I marketed my programs. Yeah, it's grown so much every year, and I'm very, very proud of the programs that we do because I see how it benefits children every day.
I know about Chi. I watched Dragon Ball. Are you a Dragon Ball fan?
Sort of.
Right, so your life has always been revolved around martial arts, or more specifically Kung Fu, right?
Absolutely. I mean, my father is the grandmaster.
Yeah.
He started me in Kung Fu when I was about 4 years old. So it's always been in my life, even before I came to Asia. Yeah, it's a big part of my life.
Are you still practicing Kung Fu somewhat-ish?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, martial arts or my style of Hungar Kung Fu, it's something that you have to continue practicing diligently.
Okay, so there's no stopping. Once you're
There's
in
no
it,
stopping.
Once you're in it, you're supposed to be in it for life.
Yes, I mean, because with Hungar Kung Fu, it's very famous for their low stances. And as you get older, and you don't practice,
Yeah.
to get into those stances get more and more difficult. So you have to stay limber, you have to practice and keep your body in shape, especially your legs. And yeah, it's a way of life.
Okay,
it's a way of life.
When we think of Kung Fu masters, when we watch movies, there's always Mr. Miyagi, where the older they get, the more limber and the better they are at martial arts. Is that the case, or can you debunk that myth?
I mean, that's a myth. I think obviously the older you get, the wiser you are. But as far as the
Your
physical,
body,
the physical aspect of it, I mean, it's human nature that it's father time. When father time catches up to you, you slow down. So it's more of a wisdom thing. And, I feel the same way. I mean, the older I've gotten, the wiser I've become. And I think, especially in the martial arts sense, that you never stop learning, but you always teach something new in a better way, always improving.
It's a lifestyle, right? Not just martial arts. I mean, there's discipline and all that.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean,
It's a way of life.
I mean, discipline is the key to everything. It's the key to success, not just in martial arts, but in studying, everything.
That's true. When you were in your prime, what was your lifestyle like? Like into this Kung Fu? Were you like Bruce Lee, able to do 500 push-ups with one hand or whatever?
Well, I think that it's something that you have to self-assess. But I mean, being in your prime, I think you always want to be in your prime. But if you're asking, in my younger days, was I able to do superhero things? Not so much superhero things, but I was a diligent exponent who always strives to improve. Not just the physical thing, but even forms and the style. Even though you feel that you've mastered something, you always find something new to make it even better, or interpret a move to showcase it in a different light. So as you get older, you always want to expand your horizons and learn new things. Learn new things from things that you're used to doing.
I know a lot of UFC fighters have their basic foundation in Kung Fu and Karate, but can you use it as a competitive sport? Is there like weight class involved and sparring and all
You mean
that?
in Kung Fu?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean there's martial arts tournaments, open martial arts tournaments
With weight class and all that.
With weight classes where you Kung Fu fights against Kung Fu or Kung Fu fights against Karate and so on and so forth. Yeah, of course there's weight classes. Though you have full contact fighting or you have point fighting. Yes.
Basically, it's the same like most sports like karate or silat or whatever.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's very aesthetic. The movements and all that very elegant. That's one thing I enjoyed about the show, the challenge. Did you were like constantly sparring with your friends like Vincent and all that who both practice sort of?
I have really great memories of that show, and we worked really hard on it because we had to travel to Shaolin. I've been to Shaolin before prior to that. But it was very special going there with the cast and the crew because it was a very enjoyable experience. But we worked real hard and we sparred, we trained. It was everything. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience.
You and Wong Lilin came together at 999. You work with almost the same people over different shows. Yeah. It's fun, like having familiar faces.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Was it fun doing 999 as well?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't work with Lilin on 999.
Different
she
season.
was in the first season.
Okay, yeah.
I came on in the second season.
Yeah. Annabelle Francis and all that.
Yeah, Annabelle came on, I believe it was in the third, or no, I'm a little confused, sorry. Lilin was in the first and second seasons. I came on in the new 999 in season 3 and 4.
Yeah, it was like ages ago, so even I can remember. Back then, TV was your life, there wasn't YouTube and all that. So.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is that times have changed. Back then in the late 90s, everybody was watching TV.
Yeah. Mediacorp was my life, basically. Whatever shows they put out, I'll watch it. Yeah, so I want to go way back a little bit. Obviously, we don't want to spend too much time on the podcast because you have a flight in literally like 5 hours' time.
That's right.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for graciously doing this.
No problem.
Yeah, problem. You were not born in Singapore. You were born in US, right?
Yeah, I was born in Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington, that's right. You graduated in speech communications.
Yes.
You got to be thinking of like future prospects, right? Okay, speech communications. I went to media because I want to study videos and all that. But like, what were you thinking in terms of future prospects when you signed up for speech communications?
I wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that was what entails in
that was the
direction.
trail. That was the direction.
Okay.
Media really wasn't in my wheelhouse. It was something that I enjoyed doing. Prior to my graduating, I had some experience in Hong Kong, did a couple of films there, but it was more of like a hobby, something fun to do. But I didn't study media studies. I didn't study acting.
Oh, you didn't study acting at all?
No, it just happened. I kind of got discovered in Hong Kong, walking the streets, and then it kind of snowballed from there. And then I went from Hong Kong to Singapore. So
okay, so you got to Singapore in 1997.
Yeah, actually, the first time I came was 1995.
What was the reason for the move?
Well, I was living in Hong Kong at the time.
But you're part Singaporean, right?
No. I have no family in Singapore, no.
Oh, but
I have no ties.
So you didn't serve NS?
No, I have absolutely no family ties in Singapore. But the story is very interesting to me because I fell in love with Singapore on my first visit here in 1995, not in 1997. So I was sent here in 1995 to do a commercial, an ad campaign for people to immigrate to Singapore before the handover in 1997 in Hong Kong.
Okay.
So yeah, I came here in 1995 initially. Then I said I'm coming back. So I came back in 97 for good.
Singapore back then and now must be drastically different, right?
Not really, First thing I got off the plane, wow,
MRT, there's only 2 tracks.
But just so clean, modern, because I just had this thinking that before I had no knowledge of what Singapore was about. I really thought Singapore was a third world country because nobody told me anything about Singapore. So you just got to go in the Singapore. I said, oh, okay, I'll go. But man, stepping right off the plane, clean, modern. Everybody spoke English. I said, this is home.
Funny enough, you mentioned that. I went to New York for the first time in my life. I thought the MRT was going to be the same, the train. So the metro was...
Oh, no.
I could jump through the gantry if I wanted to.
I mean, that's what I just don't understand. I mean, especially in the US, resources get wasted on things that, don't matter.
Military.
And then they don't put any money to upgrade their train, their subway systems, their roads. It's very sad. So that's why coming to Singapore, it's like, wow, how things are run here and how efficient everything is run here. I just fell in love with Singapore immediately.
Okay, so you're not Singaporean, so you cannot stay here for a long period of time.
I'm a PR.
Oh, you're PR.
When I
okay.
first came, I was hosting a show, and then the producers helped me. This is back in 1997. They helped
Okay.
me get PR within like 3 months, which is unheard of now.
Okay.
So I really appreciate them doing that.
It all worked out for you.
Yeah. So I've been a PR since 1997. Yes.
You got married in Singapore or you got married back in the US?
In Singapore.
Okay, so you met your wife in Singapore.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So Singapore. There's a lot of my milestones took place here in Singapore, and that's why I'm very grateful for this country.
So why not stay here in Singapore? Why move back to the US?
Oh no, I mean I really haven't moved back. I am staying here in Singapore. It's just that I have businesses that I'm running in China and also in the US. So
Chi Life Enterprise.
Chi Life, doing a couple other things, and enjoying myself. I love to travel. Yeah, so I haven't moved back to the US.
You're still here, but
Oh, yeah.
just back and forth.
Oh yeah, back and forth.
It must be
Love to
expensive for your
travel.
flight and all that in the time.
Yeah,
as
of
well.
course.
Yeah.
Traveling is not cheap, but I love to travel.
Okay, well, you got all the expenses worked out with your businesses.
Yeah.
Most of the Mediacorp people are starting their own businesses. Even Annabelle started her own burger chain with Sheikh Haikal.
Okay.
Acting life is not sustaining them unless you're Zoe Tay.
Yeah, I guess what the market here in Singapore is like that, but I've never looked at acting as my career. It was more of my hobby.
It's a pit stop in your life.
Well, because actually business has always been my career. Real estate investing, and business. And acting was just, like I said, my hobby, which I enjoy doing.
It's good you're not defined by one particular thing. Like, not just kung fu acting, you're doing entrepreneuring, you're doing, a bunch of other
Yeah,
stuff.
I try my best.
Trying every flavor there is.
Well,
to taste.
not really trying every flavor. I just enjoy trying new things and challenging myself to see if I can accomplish what I set out to do. And once I've accomplished something, I go to my next challenge.
No pun intended. But you know what's your other character that was a favorite of mine? Is the Barbie-loving character in One Leg Kicking. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
One of the better movies Singapore has made.
That was a fun character. Every time I come visit Singapore, I'll see Eric, and Eric is so cool. And back when we were shooting that, it was a situation where my character was actually a little bit psycho.
By your football star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this turned into something incestuous, but I guess in a humorous way. But it was fun to play it, and we had a great time shooting
There
that.
was Singapore pushing its boundaries on the PG system.
Trying to.
PG rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of characters do you enjoy playing in terms of acting? You didn't have any formal training, so to speak, right, in acting. So it's like a trial by fire. You learn through the job, or
Yeah, it is. Honestly speaking, people might be surprised by this, but I enjoy doing comedy the most because I think I probably, just like any other actor, I think I'm a funny guy. Maybe people don't think so, but
you're not pigeonholed as that.
no, I love
comedic
doing
guy.
comedy, and I don't know, I like cracking jokes. But actually, the first TV series was 3 Rooms. I don't know if you remember 3 Rooms.
It sounds familiar, but
It was a sitcom. So I started with a sitcom, and then from there they just wanted me to play more dramas and more heroic roles.
any stars that is in the show that we might know?
In 3 Rooms,
Yeah.
Sheikh Haikal
Shaika
was in it.
Okay.
Diana
Yeah,
Sir
Diana
was in
Sir.
it.
All right.
Gregory Teo and Karen. There was a lot. Melody was in there. Melody Chen. I don't know if you know
yeah.
Melody.
Yeah. Everyone looks so drastically different from then and now.
I don't know if you know Ix Shen.
Ikshen,
Yeah, he was in
yeah.
there as well.
Okay, wow.
So yes.
When you get a job, do you get advices from your colleague how to make the scene better or improve on my
I
character?
see. Yeah, it's a process, and like with any new show, we have production meetings, and obviously certain characters that you're playing, you want to check with the producer and the writers how they see this character being played, because you'll have your own idea after reading the script, but the writers and the producers will have their other ideas. So you kind of mesh it together. It's a process, and then you grow into a character. And I remember when 999, when they offered me to do 999, it was like he was supposed to be a Singaporean. And the funny thing was, they sent me down to read for it. They said, "You're not going to be able to do this show." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Why not?" "Oh, because you have an American accent."
Back then?
Yeah, I still have an American accent, but they said they don't allow little accents or dialects.
You have to have la in your...
Or yeah,
a bit of
I don't
la.
know. But they ended up rewriting the character where I went to university in the USA. hence my
They fit your story.
well,
into
hence
the
my
mold.
accent. So what the funny thing was, from that point on, mostly every show I did, whether from 3 Rooms, I was an investment banker from the U.S. to 999, where I went to university in the U.S.
Oh.
The Channel 8 shows.
They changed the origin of your story.
Well, the challenge, I was a U.S. champion. I even played a mute. I don't know if you remember, I played
Yeah.
a mute where I didn't have to say anything, so I didn't have to explain anything. That was challenging.
They walk around your accents.
Accent,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
So I was grateful for them to do that, but there were certain challenges.
So were you signed full time or were you?
Oh, yeah.
Or you were signed
Full time for a little over 5 years. Yeah.
So when did you realize that was it? Do you have your business running by that point in time?
Yeah. So I mean, back then it was called TCS.
TCS, yeah.
The
My
television.
dad's been working for
Oh.
Mediacorp for like over 30 years.
Okay.
If I show you a picture, you might recognize because he
Probably.
does Channel 8 stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was in 1997. I started She Life in 2002.
Okay.
So what happened was, actually, I started getting into hosting shows for Channel News Asia as well.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
they
right.
wanted me to actually go in real early in the morning and, like 3 o'clock and do news stories and sports stories. And so I kind of waited out and I said, I'm going to go full on my business and I'll do acting and all that part time. Because I prefer to have my own schedule. Because when you're with the television station, whatever project it is that they want you to do,
You have to take it.
basically, yeah.
Can you turn down roles or can you turn down the jobs?
You could,
It
but
might put you on a bad.
it could, I
light.
guess. But obviously, if there's a role that you really don't feel that you're a natural fit for, I mean, you will say something. There were a couple of roles that was offered to me that I did voice my opinion that maybe I'm not the right person for this. And, they would agree, because there's always different shows going
You can
on.
negotiate. Okay.
Yeah.
So how is it like to have 2 of the best things in your life in one show, like the challenge? You can have kung fu and acting. You can do both things at the same time. Was it like feeling at home, It feels natural because you grew up with kung fu, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. I mean, Bruce Lee grew up in Seattle. My father opened up probably one of the first public kung fu martial art schools in America in 1963. So he's been in Seattle's Chinatown for over 55 years. So I grew up with it. I lived it. Coming here to a different country altogether and doing a martial arts drama, yeah, it was very special, especially going to Shaolin. Because, the birthplace of all martial arts, what better place to do it? And it was great. It was fantastic.
What was it like having a grandmaster as a dad?
What was it like? He had me starting at around 4 years old, and I don't think that I had any say in if I wanted to do it or not. But I'm very grateful that he did because it's molded myself to who I am today.
What does it entail, like waking up early in the morning and
Absolutely.
meditating and all that?
No, it's my father is the epitome of what a Kung Fu master is. He epitomizes everything that you want in a Kung Fu master.
Okay.
Waking up early diligently, exercising, practice, training. And it's not just, in the morning, but it's just everyday life, your values, how you view things, and the perspective and the discipline. I mean, I always say there's nobody like my father in this world. They're not built like that anymore. Yeah.
It's a dying art.
Unfortunately, yeah, I mean, that's the reality. But that's why I'm so grateful to be able to witness this kind of discipline is unbelievable. So he's 81 years old now.
Oh, he's still around.
Oh, yeah, he's still around.
Wow.
He's still
I
around.
was about to ask you whether he was around when you started your company.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
He helped to run some of the classes.
Oh, no. I mean, Singapore, he's in the US, but he's 81, but...
That's a testament to the lifestyle, right? Like,
Well, no, it's not just that. I mean, he's 81, but really, he's probably more fit than a lot of 30 and 40-year-olds.
yeah.
Because it's just his frame of mind, his discipline. And I always convey this also to my students. It's about having a routine. You need to have a daily routine. And when you're training, you have to have a training schedule. You don't just do here and here and here, then you never get anything done. So you just always have to have a daily schedule and follow it.
Are your kids picking up the lifestyle too?
Yeah, I mean, they enjoy it. I mean, my eldest, he loves doing it. It's not something I pressured him to do, but he likes training. But he likes playing other sports. He loves basketball. He loves baseball with a passion.
That's big.
Even
in
American
US.
football.
Yeah, that's big in US.
Yes. My youngest might be the best athlete in the family. He's watching everybody, and he's going to be starting baseball this year.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Yes.
Is Singapore and US are the two places that you go back and forth? Or
Beijing, I had to go to Beijing a lot.
you have businesses there as well?
Yes. Beijing, Singapore, the US. But Singapore is my favorite.
It's a favorite.
Yes, hands down.
Is your wife Singaporean or
PR, also PR.
she lives in the US? She moved there.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the biggest difference, like all these countries that you've been? Like, is it food?
Well, I mean, the biggest difference is, nobody can compare to Singapore's food. When I'm away from Singapore, I will miss the food so much. And, every time I come back, man, I have to have the rojak, the char kway teow, the Hokkien mee, the mee pok. Oh, my goodness.
Even if you can find it in the US, it must be
you can't find, even if you find, look at the chicken rice.
it's like triple the price, or it's not the same.
No, it's just the taste is not the same. There's just no passion when you find this kind of food in other countries. And the main difference is in the US, they'll give you like gigantic portions. It's good food, but I prefer Chinese food and especially Singaporean food. That's why you guys are so lucky, man. You have such wonderful food. I always tell, all my Singaporean friends, I say like, wow, you just are so lucky, growing up with this kind of food.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine. I just cannot imagine, but very lucky.
So traveling a lot, I'm pretty sure you get jet lag and tired from all the travel. So do you still keep up your routine, like waking up and meditating?
I do, but it's just that I don't think I have jet lag. I've gotten over it.
Okay.
I know how to get over it quickly. So I'm used to the traveling. So I can go from one country to another without a hitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Having this company for a very long time, do you notice any difference in how the students appreciate the martial arts?
Yes.
What kind of patterns do you see?
When I first started, there was, Kung Fu Panda hadn't been released yet, but they've seen, Jet Li movies and things like that. But most of the kids, they wanted to learn Kung Fu, or their parents wanted them to learn Kung Fu more for self-defense, building their confidence, and so on and so forth. So, and it's not any different today. It's the same thing. Because like the main thing that parents want their kids to do is to learn new things, but also to be able to defend themselves and to build confidence. But the biggest difference I've seen over the years, because I've seen thousands of students in the past 15 years, and the one thing that is a constant is the joy. And that joy stems from having confidence, not just to be able to do certain movements, but to kind of like break a barrier, a fear, overcoming a fear and just excelling and pushing right through that. And that's something that I always stress to my kids, my students, that whatever fear you may have, because when you're learning a new handset or a new routine, whether it's a weapon or an open handset, it looks difficult. They feel, I can't do it. But when you start to really build that confidence and you break through and then you excel at it, and then they start going to competitions and winning gold medals and performing in front of thousands of people, that's priceless. So that's been the constant, but I've just seen the awareness and the appreciation of Chinese martial arts grow in the past 15, 16 years. And, Kung Fu Panda's helped, that's the thing. In Hollywood, you don't see, Taekwondo tiger, it's always about Kung Fu. The movies are about Chinese Kung Fu. And it helps people going into the cinema and, in everyday life, they know like Chinese Kung Fu, even Karate Kid, right?
Yeah.
The remake was Kung Fu.
Will Smith's son?
Yeah, but it was Kung Fu.
It was Kung Fu, yeah.
It's great to see the appreciation of Chinese martial arts grow worldwide. And obviously it's thanks to, Bruce Lee.
Pop culture.
Oh yeah, Jet Li.
Donnie Yen.
Yeah, Donnie Yen. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan.
Have you met him?
No, but I love his movies. Action-packed.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, I just like the style. I like Jackie Chan. Obviously Jackie Chan, yeah.
Have you met Jackie Chan?
No, actually, who would...
I know Jet Li stays in Singapore, I think.
Yeah, he's in Singapore. I've never met Jet Li, though. But is he living in Singapore?
I know that he wants his kids to have the Singapore school system.
I know, yes. When you said Jackie Chan, because I was trying to think, have I met him? When I was a kid, I remember I saw him in the airport in Seattle, but we never really met or anything. I was a little kid anyways, but I was exposed to some great martial artists at a very young age because my father had all these annual exhibitions. And one of his good friends is Shekin. I don't know if you know Shekin from Enter the Dragon. Mr.
Oh, yeah, Enter the Dragon.
So he would invite him every year, and he actually was my godfather.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So he was...
The connections, people in the martial art knew each other.
Yes.
The network.
From Hong Kong, the Hong Kong connection. So that's how I met Shekin and all the great martials around the world, and even in the US. They would all come together to support my father's exhibitions. And that's basically how I got to know all of these great martial artists around the world.
Oh.
Yeah.
You mentioned Kung Fu Panda earlier. I used to work in a boxing gym for 2 years. So right now I work in a school. I've moved on. So whenever there's a Mayweather versus a Conor McGregor, like in a big boxing match, like hyped up, immediately you see a surge in the membership. And I know that, running a business is very different. And I know that there'll be ups and downs and all that. Do parents recognize you and the kids recognize you from television?
I think some of my most prominent shows, like 999 and The Challenge, that was maybe about 15, 20 years, maybe 15, 16 years ago. When people come up to me, it was just like yesterday. And it's fresh in their memories. I think, they see a lot of reruns on TV.
And Toggle.
Yeah, or wherever it may be. And every time I'm here, it's in the train and in the subway or I'm taking a taxi. People are very, very friendly. They show me their appreciation of the shows that they enjoyed. And I always love interacting with my fans and the people here in Singapore. They're very, very courteous. Yeah, I love them a lot.
Do you still keep close contact with your former colleagues?
Yes, some of them. I just was hanging out with them a couple days ago. Yeah, we keep in touch.
A WhatsApp group chat with Vincent Ng.
No, it's more of like, we get together with drinks. I ran into Mark, Mark Richmond.
Mark Richmond, yeah.
At a restaurant. Singapore is so small. You see people every day that you haven't seen in a long time. So it's good to see good friends and people that you've worked with over the years.
Is it the same like in US? Sometimes you say, oh, that's Brad Pitt or whatever in the restaurant. Do you sometimes?
No, I haven't seen that. Like I said, the US is so big.
Yeah.
I'm from Seattle. And I wanted to go back to what I was saying earlier about, because you're mentioning about martial artists, because I pay homage to all the people who laid out the groundwork, for the popularity of Chinese martial arts. And it's very important that, because, we say Jackie Chan, Jet Li, you recognize them because from the movies and everything. But the true, I don't want to say they're not true martial artists, but the famous martial artists who hone their crafts every day, like my father. You have Grandmaster Chen Pui in Florida, Grandmaster Brendan Lai in San Francisco. I don't know if you're familiar with these names, but in the martial arts circles, you will know them. You will know their names. And I take pride in knowing the fact that I knew these people. And these masters are important to me because they've taught me things. I learn from them. And even to this day, I learn from them on a daily basis. So I think it's important to note that you have a lot of respect for those martial artists who hone their crafts every day. Paved the way, but not through films or even through,
it's like
or just
continue
as a whole.
The community.
As a whole in the United States, around the world.
Okay.
And all these grandmasters need to get more credit because
for what they do.
For what they do and for what they
given for the community.
Or for the art that they're spreading. Because traditional martial arts, people say it's dying, but that would be very sad if it did. So it's important that we keep it alive because that's the foundation of, all martial arts. They have to have that traditional training and the traditional history and respect for what was laid out for us hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So I'm just grateful, disciple of Kung Fu.
Are you Grandmaster Robin Leong?
No.
What does it take to be a Grandmaster?
That's a good question. That's something that you would probably have to discuss with an actual Grandmaster.
Oh, okay. Is it like the status like a belt or people recognize you as that title?
In Kung Fu, there are no belts. Obviously, with your Sifu, your master will guide you, whenever you're ready or he feels that you're ready to go to another level. That's at the Grandmaster's discretion. So there's a system where you can differentiate from certain levels of prowess. But for being Grandmaster, that's something I can't imagine what the criteria would be. The respect that I have for all the Grandmasters around the world, I can't say enough about them.
Just two things I want to get into before we ride off to the sunset.
Okay.
Weapons. How do you import all these weapons? Training with weapons. It's obviously not real blades, right?
Some are real.
Do you have a license to keep?
Some of the weapons from China, you have to go through certain channels. You have to declare them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you declare them, because you have to have like a special license.
Yeah.
There are martial arts businesses that import weapons all the time. Because I know there are certain weapons that are banned here in Singapore. But these are more for show. These are very traditional weapons. But like for modern day wushu, swords, staffs, those are through different channels, that are imported in.
When we were talking about Grandmaster earlier,
yes.
Do they create their own kung fu? Like I'm thinking about Crouching Tiger and then Jackie Chan has various different styles. So is it that you have to create like a particular
as a Grandmaster?
Yeah.
No, like I said, I don't think they're creating
But they have their own style or their own flavor attached to the art. Or is it the same?
I think it's just more of like I said, the wisdom. I mean, with grandmasters, it's more of leading by example, a way of life. They're not creating like a new style, as you said. They are leading. Obviously, you're guiding your students in a direction where you want to live a healthy lifestyle. You want to be disciplined and always be training, because once you stop training, your body loses the flexibility, the strength. If you don't train anymore, then you come back, then you start all over again. So it's the consistency about it. So I think with grandmasters, it's that daily consistency that sets them apart from everybody else.
Okay, really being into the lifestyle. Wow.
Oh yeah, I mean through and through. Not just how your training is, but what you eat,
you live, breathe, and
how you sleep, what time you sleep, what time you wake up. It's all about a healthy lifestyle.
Wow. If you got robbed, if like a robber trying to rob your house, what's the move to take down a robber?
Well, it really depends. Does he have a weapon? Does he not have a weapon? I mean, that's just a hypothetical thing that I like to
Aim for the neck.
No, I mean, I like to be flexible, meaning like
adapt to different
There's a lot of people
situations.
that always says, oh, what would happen if you did this and that? I mean, it's a lot of hypotheticals, but I like to be flexible in the sense that when something happens, I'm flexible enough. I'm not talking about like
Adapting the situation.
adapting to the situation and making quick decisions. So whether weapons, whether his neck is exposed or his back is turned or he's facing me, I will make that decision, a split-second decision on the spot. I'm pretty good with that. And I think the main thing is obviously if someone's trying to rob you or ransack your house, obviously I want my family, my children to be safe and make sure that they're isolated somewhere else. And I will handle it with this hooligan or robber in the best way that I can. And, if I get angry enough, I would probably have to beat him to a pulp.
Oh, wow.
No, because, if you invade someone's private space, you're just asking for trouble. So if you're asking for trouble, then, that's when my fury will come out.
Wow. Fist of fury. So finally, throughout your whole experience, be it martial arts, be it acting or entrepreneuring, what is one thing that you've learned, all these things that you can apply to your real life?
Always be true to yourself. Meaning, don't be someone that you're not.
Be like water.
Everybody has their own personality. I mean, you can't run from it. I mean, you can make changes, and that's great, but just be true to yourself. Know who you are, and you make the most of it. Now, like I said, everybody has different personalities, different habits. You just have to make sure that you are true to yourself and always do the right thing. Always do the right thing. Okay? So if you take those two little bits of advice, I think you'll be much happier and you'll live a fruitful and a full life without any worries.
Wow. This
Yes.
very sound advice. Do you have a website?
Yeah, we have a website. It's www.chi-life.com. That's chi-life.com. I've been in Orchard Road, for the last 15 years. We are here at Claymore Connect. For those that may not know where that is, connected to the Orchard Hotel.
What was the original store?
Okatima.
Ooh.
Then I moved over to Wheelock, and then I came here to Orchard Hotel in 2005.
It must be expensive, the rent.
Yes. But like I said, it's a rewarding experience seeing all the children enjoying themselves. And when I see a smile on their faces, it's just, like I said, it's priceless. And when you see them build that confidence, it's just, it doesn't really matter about money. When something's priceless, man, you'll spend whatever it takes. And, yes, of course, here in Orchard it is expensive, but it's a place that I kind of grew up here in Singapore. I've been here for so long. But, if you don't mind me talking, we have Line Pilates.
Oh,
It's connected to the studio.
Okay.
Which is also under the umbrella of Chi Life Studio.
Okay. Pilates.
It's Line Pilates. It's Reformer Pilates. Yeah, it's very popular. So it's great. The parents and the adults go there and the kids are here.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the synergy is there. And we get a lot of professionals, men and women, even students who are doing it. Yeah, so it's great. Even in the afternoons, we have kickboxing with Terrence, who's a fantastic kickboxing teacher. Now we have BJJ in the evenings. So it's great.
Anyone from your class is going to 1FC?
The kids, it's children.
Yes, the
It's
children.
just children.
Building them up for future 1FC.
Yeah, you
stars.
never know. You never know.
Yeah, who knows, you'll be training the next grandmaster.
Yes, you never know. That's the one thing. See, you start something and you put all your heart into it. If you're passionate about something, you will never go wrong. Do things with passion. If you don't do things with passion, just don't even do it.
Second advice by Robin Leong. You know, you get 2 for the price of 1.
Actually, 3.
You get 3 advices from Robin Leong. Thank you so much for doing this. I know you have
My
a flight
pleasure.
like in a few hours time.
My pleasure. Great talking to you.
And I really hope that you'll get a conversion for a listener or two. Maybe there are closet Kung Fu lovers listening to the podcast. Is acting really off the market for you, or do you still do a bit couples?
I do once in a while. Still.
in a while.
Yes.
Yeah,
If
but
I'm
you're
free.
okay.
Yeah, if I'm free and
If time permits, yeah.
and the script or the role is something that I want to do. Yeah.
Okay.
But business is my focus and my family and obviously travel. So if that doesn't interfere with any of those things, it's not my priority. So I have other priorities. But like I said, I always love being in Singapore and I'm always happy when I land here. And I'm very sad when I have to leave.
Cool. Is there a goodbye word for Kung Fu? I don't know. Is there a word or
再见 and
Jai Jian? Oh, that's the
that's,
see you
that's
again.
in Mandarin.
That's in Mandarin.
I mean,
okay.
as you can see, my Mandarin may not be up to par, but I'm doing my best.
As a ABC, like what my friends told me.
You know what ABC is?
He's a ABC, American born Chinese.
Yeah, that's right.
I just learned that word today. I was gonna talk to Robin.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I just learned about ABC.
Yep, ABC.
Thank you so much, man.
Well, thank you for having me, and I really appreciate the time that you've taken for doing this, and I wish everybody great success.
Thank you, and a great 2019.
Absolutely.